Hello, hello, all. Thank you for joining us again on the Almost Brothers podcast. Hey, will you do us a favor? If this podcast has meant something to you and encouraged you, will you consider becoming a monthly supporter? You could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the podcast so that we can continue to put out content and help better serve you. So if you would, down in the show notes, you can click the link, support, and become a monthly member. We love you. New episode coming your way.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Almost Brothers podcast. On today's episode, man, we just want to talk about just being grateful and talk about our favorite things about the podcast and about getting to spend some time together. I know we've done this before, but it's been a while. So, just thankful, man. I just feel thankful today. So, just want to talk about that. Let's go. I said it one deep breath.
Did you hear it?
Yes, barely. What's up, Jake?
Not
How's it
much,
going, man.
Just running around like crazy.
Oh, yeah. Man, back at it. How's school going?
Good. Very good. We got spring break coming up next week, though.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, which I think we're still getting one at the high school at Clarkton, but we might have to make up a couple of days because we had those snow ice days. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I probably need to figure that out if we're having the full thing. Because I think we're going to have to take Lee to Kansas City, and we're kind of going to go to the campus and gear up for that.
Yes.
Not looking forward to it. Jacob was passing out Wednesday night. Jacob was passing out his senior photos and senior invitations and stuff. So it's like, oh, now we're getting close. We're getting down to the wire. So
yes,
it was crazy, but it was good to see Ben.
Yeah,
good to see Ben, man. Yeah. I could tell as soon as he walked out, I was like, baseball season start. He's like, yeah. I was like, you got a little bit of a tan going on. So I was like, yeah, you've been out there.
So jealous.
Yeah, like you've been out there in that sun. That's funny. But yeah, I just want to talk about, I was just feeling thankful, man, for, not only for this podcast, which has been a huge part of my life, huge part of our life, but also just, this was me thinking. So I'm going to say my life. But just thinking about you and Missy and just being connected with y'all, and just being grateful for everything and for getting to do this, not just getting to do this, but getting to do this with you, with one of my best friends. So
yeah, absolutely. I think that's a perfect thing to talk about. Because not only this podcast, but just everything that God is doing through this ministry.
Yeah.
So through New Beginnings where I work, through your youth services, I know they've been off the chain lately. Just a powerful move of God on Wednesday nights, even in like the main sanctuary, just been having good services, recovery night.
Yeah.
Were you there Sunday night?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's awesome.
It was great. That's what Pastor Bolin looked back. He said, "Come here." I went up here. He said, "It's about to be fire in here tonight." Like, this is crazy. I was like, yes, sir.
So just all that,
Yeah.
Just getting to be a part of that. And, man, I'm like you, man. I feeling very, very grateful for where I'm at right now, what God's doing through all of this.
Yeah. Just last night, at youth, just watching some of these kids that 3 months ago, were so reserved and just kind of arms crossed and now they're coming out and they're praying. I mean, just first song starts and they're down there at the altars and they're praying for one another and they're singing. And man, I was just sitting there watching them. And then at the end of service, Easton came up to me and asked, "Hey, could I say something?" And just kind of spoke from his heart. And it was just like, man, this is awesome to see. Just these kids getting touched and getting changed and stepping out. And, of course, everybody has their faults and their downfalls and their slip ups. But man, it's just been awesome. And I've just been very thankful. Today's been a thankful type of day. So,
right.
Man, because Monday, Tuesday, and yesterday morning. Yeah, and yesterday morning it was rough mornings getting out of the house. Well, Lee's car is broke down, so we're trying to get it figured out, and Lord have mercy. They said the catalytic converter is out on it, so yay. but so we've kind of started the morning off on a bad foot, having to get them ready, and then me having to take them to school, but also try to leave early enough to where I can make it to Clarkton on time. Malden not opening the doors till 7:30, and I got to be at Clarkton at 8. So it really, and them three getting dropped off in 3 different locations in Malden, it really kind of puts me behind. So, as we've been starting the day out pretty badly, all throughout the week. Today, I was just be able to sit back and just look and just go, man, I'm just so grateful for my wife and for the ministry and for my friends and for people I'm connected with, and it's amazing, man.
Yeah. It's amazing to me where circumstances like that maybe in my past would have set me back.
Yeah.
I would have been depressed. But to look at that with a grateful lens, it to me is huge, and I'm like proud of you for that, because that it's hard to be grateful sometimes.
Yeah.
It's easy. Missy kind of touched on it in her sermon last night. Everybody can be grateful on the mountaintop. Yeah. Everybody can praise and worship and be full of joy.
Wow, that's what she spoke on last night. Yeah. Wow,
maybe it was part of it. You know how she is. Yeah. She's a
oh
like
yeah.
She's a little bit all over the place sometimes, but she talked about that last night. And about being in Christ, and it's easy when we're on top.
Yeah,
it's easy when things are going good. It's easy, when the favor of God is just all over our life. But we have to know that it's always there.
Yeah.
Even if our circumstances don't show it, and even if we're going through a tough time, we're still a child of God. He still cares about us, still loves us, he's still with us. And we're just going through some things.
Yeah.
But we need to rejoice in those. Rejoice in those things. Like you said, be grateful for, because we know that there's good things ahead.
Yeah. And for me, I've tried to really stay focused on, like, what can I learn in the middle of this? What can I take out of this bad situation, or when something doesn't go my way? Like, God, what are you trying to teach me in this? This sucks. So I know there's got to be something that I could learn out of it, for the next time, or for maybe where I'm in a position that somebody may have put me in, even unbeknownst to them. Mm-hmm. Like, how can I learn from this so that if I'm in that position to where I could maybe be putting someone else, making them feel the way that I feel now, how could I learn from this situation and go, I remember how I felt in that. Let's change that and make sure I don't do that to somebody else.
Right. And that relational ministry that you and I both, I think, have gifting, it's so key for us.
Yeah.
Is to be able to have our experiences help us with other people.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, good or bad. We can always, think back to a time in our life when we were in a similar situation, how we were treated or how we wanted to be treated.
Yeah.
And then go from, and try to extend that to somebody else.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, you're so effective at what you do, is because you do a great job of considering other people's feelings.
I try, man. It's, and I hate when I maybe hurt somebody or confuse somebody. And I think that in the culture we live in now, we're so scared of controversy. Mm-hmm. So everybody just kind of bottles it up instead of like, hey man, like let's talk through this. Let's get through this. So I hate when I may do that to somebody and then they don't voice that. I don't know. I may have hurt their feelings. I don't know that, maybe they're feeling a type of way towards me, and not voicing that, I think, does nothing but hurt even more, and it makes you feel a way about somebody that they may not feel towards. They may not have any clue that they made you feel a type of way. So I'm trying to learn not only how to voice that when I'm hurting. That's a big thing, because I'll kind of take shots and just keep on moving, whatever, and keep on going. But that's not healthy. Right. It's not healthy for either party.
Right.
So I'm trying to one, voice my hurts and my concerns, but also try to be aware, because some people aren't able to do that. They just kind of bottle it up. So be aware of what I'm doing more. So I've really been,
because with a ministry the size of ours, it's hard to make sure no one falls through the cracks.
Yeah.
So even with the caseload that I have at work, there's some that are good about showing up, and they're outgoing and they're easy to love on. They're easy to help, but there's others that are not. And they kind of slip through the cracks.
Right.
And so I don't want anybody to, and I know you don't want anybody to fall through the cracks either, but sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
And so I've just, been praying that God would help me to recognize the ones that are flying under the radar.
Right.
The ones that aren't really crying out for help, or the ones that are telling me everything's fine, everything's good.
Right.
But to see through that, because everybody's hurting, especially, with all your youth, they're all going through stuff.
Right.
All the clients I see, they're all going through stuff. They're not doing fine, or they wouldn't be there to see me.
Right.
There's something going on in their life that has brought them there. And it's just like with your youth, they can say, yeah, I'm great, but man, we don't know what they went through at school. Like
right.
with Ben, I don't know every day, kids can be mean to one another, there's just a lot they deal, a lot of pressure, a lot of stress that they're under. It's much different than when we were younger. And so I guess I just want to be, have the Lord help me to recognize when people aren't getting ministered to.
Right.
That's
Do you find it easier kind of the more outspoken ones are the ones you kind of, I think it's just natural. You kind of focus on like, oh, they need help. And you kind of put all your focus there, when sometimes it's the ones that are quiet. That's like, oh, okay.
Right.
Cause I know that I've had to train, and still working on training myself. It's not just the loudest ones that need something. It's not just the ones that are actually asking for help. There's some that are hurting so bad, they're scared to ask for help. Yeah. They're going through something they're scared to open up about. So I've been trying to train myself to spend as much time with those that aren't speaking up as those that are. Like, do you find that's the kind of same thing? And
yeah, absolutely.
And I know so many people, it's just hard. It's just hard to open up, especially when it's not somebody you've dealt with a lot of. So you're kind of still at a distance. But I know that I've tried to do that is focus on everybody, and like you said, it's hard sometimes, man, because we got families and we got lives and we got all these other things going on, but that's why it's so important for any leaders, and that's why we're held to a higher standard, because you just got to be able to work through that.
Right. And that's, why you've surrounded yourself back there with some good help.
Yeah.
And different backgrounds, different styles, because that way you can reach a lot more people than just you alone, and that's the same thing down there. My wife, she's been doing some counseling now, and Tammy does some counseling. And so we kind of have a good mix of people that we can, cover them all.
Yeah.
And that's what's key.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what I told Lucretia, last week, not yesterday, but last week. She had a couple girls just like after service come up to her and just pour their hearts out to her. I'm like, that is awesome. That is what I long for back there. Is not just, hey, we need to talk to Pastor Mike. Hey, I need to talk to Pastor Mike. Hey, I'm waiting, to talk to Pastor Mike. No, that's why we have the leaders back here, because all of us have been down different paths and had to go through different things. So, you may connect with somebody that you don't connect on that level with somebody else, so I tell my leaders, hey, open up to these kids, connect with them, be able to sit down and talk with them. You better be ready. You better be spiritually fed so that you can feed them if they come up to you and say, hey, look, I'm going through this. So it was awesome seeing her get to sit down with these girls and have a good conversation. It was really awesome. So yeah, I try to build a team to be able to do that, Right. So yeah, that's what, I was just feeling grateful, man. And I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for your dedication, not only in this podcast, but also just in this ministry and in every way, man, in everything that you do, and just watching you and Missy grow from the moment that we connected with you and that we met to where you are now. It's awesome to watch. It's awesome to see. Especially, which I can't talk much on Missy, but I know on you, I've seen so much growth in you, man, and it's inspiring. It grows my faith, and I'm just super proud of you, man.
Thank you, brother.
I love you.
Love you too, man. It's been a
love you.
It's been a fun ride, man, and I can only it excites me to think about what God's got next.
Yep, just starting, man,
because He's always got something more.
Oh yeah,
that's what's so great about it. Well, man, this has been a quick hitter today.
Yeah,
we knew it was going to be. We both got things to do, but man, we just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for allowing us to do this and giving us 15 minutes of your day. We really appreciate it, and we really love you. If you don't have a home church, remember to check us out at the Lighthouse in Dexter, 8:30 outside in the parking lot, 10 o'clock inside. Peace.